And now for a Faithbridge Kids Ministry presentation of Superstars of the Bible. Each week we'll be looking at awesome, amazing, true stories from the Bible where God used ordinary people just like you and me to do amazing things. Each of these superstars is a part of God's big story, and every one of their stories leads to the biggest superstar of all, Jesus. So, who will our first superstar of the Bible be today? Stay tuned to find out.
Man, what a story last week was. We heard that Joseph's brothers were so jealous of him that they did a lot of bad things to him. The worst thing being that they sold him into slavery to a man traveling to Egypt. Can you imagine?
Oh, terrible. His brothers were so mean, and their hearts must have been so hard and cold, kind of like this block of ice right here.
Oh, yeah, that's good, that's good. You know what, though, Ninja Rob? I have a feeling we may see a change in the hearts of these brothers. Their ice-cold hearts just might melt into kind hearts.
Did you say melt?
I did.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
I don't know if I'm...
Let's melt this block of ice.
Oh.
How long will that take?
Okay, I don't know. Let's... Oh, it's not gonna work. Okay, yes, yeah. Okay, lean back. All right. Great idea. Love the idea. You know what? I think we can get a little bit further using something else. Okay, how about this, right?
I like that idea.
Okay,
Wait,
yeah.
This is a hot air. This is better. I like this idea too.
Oh no. Whoa! Oh! No! Ninja, stop! Clearly, we're not gonna be able to see this melt as fast as we wanted it to, but let's see in the story if the brothers have a change of heart.
When we left off last week, Joseph found himself in prison. Even though Joseph was very sad to go to prison, he knew God was still with him, and he still tried to act the way God would want him to act. Soon, the man in charge of the prison learned to trust Joseph because of Joseph's actions. He put Joseph in charge of all the other prisoners. There were 2 men that were at that prison with Joseph that had been sent there by Pharaoh. Pharaoh was the ruler of all of Egypt. One of the men had been a cupbearer in Pharaoh's palace, and the other had been a baker. Each of these men had had dreams and were very upset by them, but they didn't know what their dreams meant. "Tell me your dreams," Joseph said. "God will help me tell you what the dreams mean." Joseph interpreted the dreams for the men. It was good news for one and bad news for the other. One of the men would get to go back to work in Pharaoh's court. Joseph asked this man to remember him and to tell Pharaoh about him. But the servant went back to Pharaoh's court and forgot all about Joseph.
Joseph could interpret people's dreams, which means that people could tell Joseph about their dreams, and he could tell exactly what their dreams meant. God gave Joseph this ability to interpret others' dreams. How cool would it be if we could interpret people's dreams? I want you to check out our kids ministry team and see if you can figure out what they're dreaming about.
Years passed, and then one night, Pharaoh had a dream. He really wanted someone to tell him what it meant. He called together all of his advisors and told them his dream. Even though they were magicians and the wisest men in Egypt, they did not know what it meant. And that is when the cupbearer finally remembered Joseph. He told Pharaoh how Joseph had correctly interpreted his dream and that of the baker. So Joseph was taken out of prison and brought to Pharaoh. When Pharaoh asked Joseph to interpret the dream, Joseph told him, "I cannot interpret your dream, but God can interpret it for you." Pharaoh explained what he had dreamed about. "I dreamed of 7 fat cows eating among the reeds. While they were eating, 7 scrawny and ugly cows came up and ate the fat cows. Even after they had eaten the fat cows, the last cows were still scrawny and ugly. Then I dreamed of 7 full and good heads of grain that sprouted. Then 7 thin and scorched heads of grain sprouted and swallowed all of the fat heads of grain." Joseph explained to Pharaoh, "It is God who is giving you these dreams to tell you what he is about to do." Both of the dreams mean the same thing. The 7 fat cows and 7 fat heads of grain represent 7 years of abundance, when crops grow well and there is extra food for everyone. The 7 scrawny cows and 7 scorched heads of grain represent 7 years of famine, when grain will not grow and there will not be enough food. Joseph went on to say that during the 7 years of abundance, Pharaoh should put someone in charge so that he could save and store all of the extra food. Then when the 7 years of famine came, the people of Egypt would have enough food and they would not go hungry. Pharaoh knew immediately that this was the true meaning of his dream. He put Joseph in charge of storing grain for all of Egypt. He even gave Joseph his own ring and a gold necklace. He also gave Joseph a chariot to ride on and told everyone in Egypt to follow Joseph's instructions. Joseph was only second to the Pharaoh in all of Egypt.
I can't believe it. Joseph had come to Egypt as a slave, and now he was the wealthy leader of Egypt, second only to Pharaoh. Joseph trusted God and knew that God was with him in the good times and the bad. Do you remember these? We made these last week when Joseph was a slave and put into prison. These were like the handcuffs keeping Joseph in prison. And God was with Joseph when he was wearing these awful cuffs. And now, Joseph is out of prison and a very powerful man in Egypt. And God is still with him. Today, we're gonna make a different kind of cuff. We're still gonna use toilet paper rolls, and these cuffs are still gonna go on our wrists. But this time, they're gonna be beautiful jeweled cuffs, like the ones Egyptian royalty would have worn. I'm gonna use markers and stickers to decorate my cuffs, but you can use whatever you have at home to make them look super fancy. Check it out, my jeweled cuffs. Aren't they colorful? I can wear them like Joseph would have. Pretty crazy to think that Joseph went from handcuffs to this in a matter of years. And God was with him the entire time. In the bad times and in the good times. It's the same for you and me. God is always with us. When we're happy and when we're sad. When things are going great and when things are going not so great. God will never leave us.
Sure enough, Pharaoh's dreams came to be, and there was famine in the land. A famine is a time when no plants grow and people do not have enough food to eat. At that time, there was only one place where there was plenty of food to eat: Egypt. Egypt had enough food because Joseph was in charge. He had correctly interpreted Pharaoh's dream, so he knew Egypt had to store grain in the years before the famine had come. Joseph had told everyone to save some of the grain when there was extra. Then, when the famine came, Egypt had enough food stored. The people in Egypt were saved because of Joseph. But now Joseph's brothers and father were in trouble. They did not have enough food because of the famine. Joseph's father sent his 10 oldest sons to Egypt to buy grain. Only his youngest son, Benjamin, stayed home.
Hey, Let's play a game. We are going to imagine we're traveling to Egypt to buy grain. The first to fill up their container with grains wins. Y'all ready? Let's go! Work hard, Jacobson. Work hard. Oh no. Oh, do we have a winner?
Yeah, we won!
We might have a winner.
That's because we have to buy extra biscuits.
It looks
Yeah,
like
while we're doing this.
it's a tie. Looks like everyone wins.
Since Pharaoh had put Joseph in charge of the grain, his brothers would have to ask him for it when they got to Egypt. He was a very important man, so they all bowed before him to ask for the grain. The brothers didn't recognize Joseph when they saw him, but he knew who they were. This brought back many memories for Joseph. Years ago, when he was just a boy, he used to tell them about his dreams. In my dreams, we are all sheaves of grain, he would say, and all of you bowed down to me. They would say, we are older than you. We will never bow down to you. That was then, but look at all of them now. All of his brothers were bowing down to him to ask for grain.
Hey, you guys. I bet you have no idea who I am. I can tell who you are, but I bet you can't guess who I am because I have these silly glasses on and a mustache and I'm wearing a disguise. Okay, maybe some of you think you know who I am, so I'm gonna give you 3 seconds to guess.
Joseph was glad to see his brothers, but he wanted to know if their hearts had truly been changed and if they were sorry for what they had done to him. Joseph decided to test them. He did not tell his brothers who he was. Joseph told them that he would give them grain if they would bring Benjamin, their youngest brothers, back with them the next time they came to Egypt. He said that Simeon, another brother, would have to stay with him until they came back. He told them not to come back unless they brought Benjamin. The brothers took their bags of grain and went back home. On the way home, the brothers looked in their bags of grain and were shocked to find not only the grain, but their silver too. They were afraid. That silver was what they had paid the Egyptians for the grain. What if the Egyptians thought they had stolen the silver? They did not know that Joseph had put the money in the bags to test them. As time went by, the grain was all used up, and Joseph's father and brothers became hungry again. Jacob did not want the brothers to take his youngest son Benjamin to Egypt. He was worried he would lose another son, just like he lost Joseph. But he knew that if Benjamin didn't go, then the official in charge of the grain would not give them any. The oldest brother, Judah, promised Jacob that he would protect Benjamin with his life. So Benjamin said goodbye to his father and went with his brothers back to Egypt. Joseph was so happy to see his brother Benjamin, but he still did not tell the brothers who he was, and they still thought he was just an important Egyptian. They had no idea that this was their brother Joseph. The brothers tried to give back the silver that they had found in their bags from their last time in Egypt, but Joseph's servants would not take it. The brothers were very confused by this. Joseph held a large feast for all of his brothers and gave Benjamin 5 times as much food as everyone else. He wanted to show love to Benjamin, but he was not yet ready to tell his brothers who he really was. He had to make sure that they understood that what they had done to him was wrong.
Joseph loved his siblings. Siblings are awesome. I have 3 of them myself. They're there for you when you want to play with them or if you need help. Check out to see if you can guess these famous siblings.
This time, when the brothers left to go back home, Joseph tested them again. Joseph secretly told his workers to put all of their payment money into the bags of grain that they were taking home. He also told them to put his own expensive silver cup in Benjamin's bag. Then Joseph sent his brothers on their way home. Joseph waited a little while, and then he sent his officials after his brothers. When the officials found the money and cup, they brought all of the brothers back to Joseph. Joseph told them that it looked as if Benjamin had stolen his cup. Benjamin would have to stay and be a slave in Egypt for punishment. Joseph's brother, Judah, begged him not to keep Benjamin. "It will make my father so sad. First, my father's favorite son, Joseph, was taken away from him. Now he will die if we tell him that his son, Benjamin, is gone." When Joseph heard about his father and how sorry his brothers were for hurting him, Joseph broke down. He saw that they really loved their father. Joseph said, "Don't you understand? I am Joseph." What a shock that must have been for Joseph's brothers. They were so happy to see their brother again, and they were very sorry that they had been so mean to him before. Joseph forgave his brothers. Even though they had been mean to him when he was younger, he would not stay angry with them. Joseph invited all of his brothers to come live in Egypt where there was plenty of food. So the brothers went back to Canaan and told their father the incredible news. Joseph is still alive. When Jacob heard that his son Joseph was still alive, he could barely believe it. What happy news! The whole family moved from Canaan to Egypt, where they lived out the rest of their days. Joseph had saved his family from famine, and Jesus one day would come from this very family line that Joseph had helped save. When Joseph forgave his brothers, it was like he was erasing their past sins. Joseph could have easily remained angry at his brothers for what they had done to him. He could have punished them and even had them thrown in prison. But he chose to forgive them and show them mercy. And you know what? The same is true for us. Just like Joseph's brothers, we deserve to be punished for our sins. But God doesn't treat us the way we deserve. He sent his son Jesus to take the punishment for us so we can be fully forgiven.
Do you guys know what this is? That's right, it's a mirror. Who do you see? That's right, it's me you see looking into the mirror. A mirror can show us what we look like. It shows our reflection. In the beginning, God created us to be His reflection. We were made to look and be like God. Now, what happens if I take this marker and I start scribbling all over this mirror? You see, these scribbles are all the wrong things that we do. And the Bible calls those times, the times that we don't do what God tells us to do, sin. Wow, these scribbles made it really hard for me to be able to see myself in the mirror. And you know what? Our sin makes it hard for God to be able to see Himself in us too. We can't clean this on our own. all of these scribbles, no matter how hard I try, I just can't wipe it clean by myself. Only God can clean our sins. When God sent Jesus, he lived a perfect life and then died on the cross. And when he died and rose from the grave, he defeated death and he defeated sin and he made us clean. Because of Jesus, we can see God's reflection in us again. When Jesus died for us, he erased all of our sins. And when Joseph forgave his brothers, it was like he erased the wrong things that they had done to him.
In my doubt, God give me faith. In my worry, I'll seek your face. Let your perfect love make my path straight. In my life, God, lead the way. I wanna run with you for all my life. I wanna know your truth into my mind. Through the badlands, I lift my eyes. You lead me through, you're by my side. No more lies, I'll live in truth. No more fear, you will come through. God, I live my life to honor you. All my life I'll follow you. Yeah, all my life I'll follow you. I wanna run with you for all my life. I wanna know your truth into my mind. Through the badlands, I lift my eyes. You lead me through, you're by my side. Yeah, you lead me through, you're by my side. I'm laying it down, I'm trading it up. I wanna be more like Jesus. I'm laying it down, I'm trading it up. I wanna be more like Jesus. Laying it down, I'm trading it up. I wanna be more like Jesus. Laying it down, I'm trading it up. I wanna be more like Jesus. I wanna run with you for all my life. I wanna know your truth into my mind. Through the badlands, I lift my eyes. You lead me through, you're by my side. Yeah, you lead me through, you're by my side. You lead me through, you're by my side.
And now for breaking news. October Fun Boxes are here!
Wait, did you say that the October Fun Boxes are here?
Yes, Fun Boxes are here!
Where?
Right here!
Whoa! Fun Boxes are here! Oh my gosh, I wonder what cool things are in it this month. Whoa! Oh my gosh! This is so cool!
You heard it here first, folks. October Fun Boxes are here. Come pick up your Fun Box at Faithbridge drive-thru style on Wednesday, September 30th or Thursday, October 1st between 4 and 6 p.m. Make plans now to get your October Faithbridge Fun Box.
Check it out. We melted the ice cube.
Yeah, we
It took the whole
did.
time you were watching that show, but we did it. And look what we found inside. A heart.
We did, that's right. And just like our story today, when God helped change the heart of Joseph's brother Judah, Judah had once been so awful to his brother Joseph. But by the end of the story, he was willing to trade places with his younger brother Benjamin, who was imprisoned. God knew Judah would need to have a change of heart, and Joseph was going to have to save his brothers if he was going to continue in his big plan. You see, Jesus would eventually come from Judah's family line. Joseph helped save his family, and his family would play a part in saving everyone in the entire world.
Wow, what an incredible story. I'm sure Joseph had no idea that his brothers and him would play such a big part in God's big story. But our memory verse goes right along with that. Okay? Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not lean into your own understanding. Proverbs 3:5. And Joseph knew to trust God, and wow, did God have big plans for him and his brothers. Yeah. And he's got big plans for you.
That's right. Well, we're so glad that you guys are here. We'll see you next time.